on, DNF. We believe in you.
Your blue side, your drafting has been good. This is your opportunity to get a big win in the draft. Again. I mean, I think the draft was fine last time from BNK.
It was, again, I think it was pretty even. Really was execution, which was the problem, which has been, unfortunately, an ongoing theme. The Sion ban kind of hints towards some possible prio on the Jace, but BNK is red side, so they can't prioritize them themselves. So maybe they ban Jace here as well, but they have a plan B that doesn't involve the Sion.
Yeah, thinking pretty hard about this last one.
Is it just it kind of feels like maybe you trade. Yeah, okay, so Vi is open. So we have the Vi that's going to get locked in for sure. And then what do you get? You get Jace. You get Jace and what, like Poppy?
Why is Vi not permabanned?
Yeah, I think she's still the same. But I also think the pick is good because if you're a cohesive team, it's really strong.
You know what makes your team really cohesive? Is someone pressing an R button and forcing your team to follow. Now, if there is one team that can kind of mess that up, it is DNF at this point, so...
Yeah, you know what also is a go button is Pantheon, and we saw how that went.
Yeah, but that has like a delay, and you know, you're far away, and your teammates might not notice it right away.
Well, why? Very confused with what is transpired. And not even the pick. I think Yorick Rise is fine. But more so, we are foregoing Jace, which makes sense because Yorick is up, and that is a rough matchup, as we have seen. But then the banning of the Sion really doesn't make that much sense to me. I do think Yorick kind of eats tanks for breakfast. As the Orianna, my excitement matches the win rate.
Yeah. I mean, I think it's specifically because it's playing in the Rise.
No, I know, but...
I know. We're on the same page.
So I mean, the combo with Vi is okay. Aatrox, that's a good top side. You know, if this was 2022 Worlds, like I see this draft, I'm like, man!
Jax
definitely feels better. Not a free win by any means when it comes to the matchup. As Raptor going towards the Wukong, which we have seen. Do think that the pick is good into Vi, both by virtue of it being an 80 matchup, as well as the fact that Vi has no choice but to kind of just jump into the midst of your Cyclones. So not taken away. Probably eyeing an Ezreal here. Ezreal Lucian, as Ezreal immediately hits the deck. Because we have to pick something that doesn't just get completely incapacitated by Vi. Maybe an R5 Frog? That's a champ.
Frog.
Yeah, like Kench.
He's a catfish.
Yeah, come on, Valdez. They can also just lock Poppy, which I think is way better. And probably what they should do.
Poppy's very good. I think Poppy should be prioritized more often.
Do you blind Poppy, though? Because if you don't pick it, I think DN Freecs are fine blinding it. And it's really good into Wukong. I don't think it's that good into the rest of BNK, but... Yep, there is the Xayah ban, unsurprisingly.
Braum?
So Poppy, Rakan, Braum. Lucian Braum?
Yeah. Maybe take the Braum and then say, we're playing Lucian Braum. Or take the Lucian. Or just pick Rakan without Xayah.
Is it going to be like Rakan... Now I'm like, are we going like Rakan Jinx? Like, what do we... Because Lucian doesn't make that much sense with me if you go Rakan. I don't really see the line.
Yeah.
Ash makes sense. What's it going to be here for the... it probably just like Zeri. But Zeri, the reason why Vi came up in the first place was because of Zeri existing as a champion.
It's just another one of these BNK drafts that don't make sense, but they're going to win anyway. Not the first time.
Well, I did watch Kai'Sa Alistair win the 2v2 lane.
Yeah.
So I can... Into Gragas MF. I get why Watchan was that mad.
Watchan. Renata Glask going to be coming through here.
It's good into the BNK comp. I think this comp is... Again, is this 2022 T1? Like, what is happening?
Yes.
This whole draft. That's a good plan.
Jhin?
Oh, yeah. Forgot about Jhin.
Forgot about Jhin. Jin's really good on this patch.
I like Jin.
Really
I like Jin
Jin
in this setup as well.
Yeah.
I do think your life is still a little tough, but
At least you've got a lot of range, and
Yeah.
you have like bully frontliners that can create a lot of space. And
yeah, you're able to also let the Rakan roam, which
Yeah.
is valuable.
all right, yeah, the Jin makes a lot more sense than the Zeri, and I feel like this draft definitely gained some value by it. So beginning to make a little bit of sense now. And some of the prio and some of the bans were awkward, but they got there in the end. I'm not sure about my boy Daystar on Rise. That doesn't seem like a Daystar champion.
It's really just Akali and its derivatives.
Yeah, he's a challenger player still, so, you know, he's adjusting.
In hands and speed, how long does he get? I usually give him like a year, and then
Yeah.
at some point
Until
we
the end of
gotta-
this year. If he comes back next year and he looks the same, then it's like,
Except if they have like really good games and then kind of bad, then you can give him like maybe 2.
well, yeah.
A little bit more leeway.
I'm committed to Daystar.
I love that.
Regardless of how long it takes. We'll see.
I don't want to hold on too long. I've done that a bunch of times, and people make a lot of fun of you forward, Valdez.
Yeah.
This Raptor also had a wonderful game number 1, and Wukong has a ton of agency. Big teamfight carry.
Yeah, I'm excited for Raptor in this game. Also excited to see if Poshik can have a good one on the bye. Definitely a pick that I think it's easy to have a good one on and potentially get your team to follow up behind. But we are ready here. Game number 2 is loaded up. Let's hop onto the Rift.
수환사의 협곡에 오신 것을 환영합니다. 미니언 생성까지 30초 남았습니다.
All right. Game number 2. I'm sure a lot of you guys are waiting for the T1 Hanwha Life Esports match.
No.
This is a nice little warm-up for that, you know. Get to see DNF try to pick up match number 2.
If this was an appetizer, what would it be? This series.
I feel like it's like cocktail sushi.
미니언들이 생성되었습니다.
Cocktail shrimp? Yeah, cocktail sushi I don't think is a thing. I think cocktail shrimp is a thing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's okay, but it doesn't really get
It's okay.
you.
It doesn't fulfill its kind of, you know,
It
its
does
role. And also you might get sick from
feel like
if it's been left out for too long. Like if we go to game 3, you know, like some
all right, now
some
I'm just-
T1 fans are going to be like, uh-oh,
Now-
I don't know if I can take any more of this.
I'm just questioning your choices of establishment, Valdez. Never.
I mean, it's possible.
No,
It's seafood.
It's seafood. No, I get that. But what I'm saying is, why are you ordering seafood at a non-seafood place? You're just asking for trouble.
Well, yeah. I mean, it's an appetizer, so it's not going to be what they, you know,
Yeah.
it's not going to be their main dish that they
Well, no,
specialize in.
Well, I know that, but
It's just going to be out there on the counter.
But why are you not picking another appetizer instead of the shrimp that are on the counter?
Well, okay, well, in this instance, it's only been about 45 minutes, so you think it's safe, but actually the shrimp were sitting in the back for 2 hours.
You are thinking of like a conference where it's like a buffet.
Yeah.
You just go and pick up the little
Yeah,
bit.
appetizer.
Okay. No, I was like, you go to a restaurant,
Oh.
and then you're like, am I feeling soup? And you're saying cocktail shrimp that I think will poison me, and then I'm like, why would you get the? Why would you order
No,
it then?
obviously you wouldn't get that.
Okay, that makes way more sense. Yeah.
Maybe at a restaurant it's like dried fish.
I was thinking like gazpacho. Like, it's fine.
What?
Like cold
I'm
gazpacho.
talking to an American here.
Cold-
Please
cold-
translate.
Cold tomato soup.
Ah.
You've had that?
No.
No. Okay. Well, it's nice. It's fine. It does the job.
I've never had that. I have had some cold soups, only after coming to Korea, though. Not a very big thing where I'm from, the cold soup. Orianna also does eat Rise like an appetizer, which is part of the reason why it was picked in this matchup.
Bulldog also is laning.
I got to give my boy Daystar a little bit of room.
Got to cover
Yeah.
up his flaws. Yeah.
Exactly.
Classic challenger stuff.
He did miss the first auto attack CS in the game.
Oh no, not the cannon.
He's gonna miss the cannon.
No. Oh, Jonas Strong he's averting our eyes. He knows what's about to happen.
Thank you, Jonas Strong. Saving my challenger player.
BN FEARX, their laning phase is just good. Like, obviously, Dudu is having a bit of a tough time because I think this is one of those matchups that is both a skill matchup. I think it's one, in theory, right, or Jax eventually outskills, right? Because once you get your items, You're able to evade so much of Yorick's damage. You can get on top of him. You can get out of the ghoulie wall. But we've seen particularly early on that the matchup can be very snowbally. And if you do fall behind, you're in deep trouble. Now, Raptor is not Vi. He's Wukong. So I don't think he should be looking for help anything. And it's also, it's Jax. So as far as champions, that Yorick and Wukong should not be trying to dive. He's high up there. Gonna take the tempo base. But look at this. Leads across the board for DNF.
Yeah, except the jungle, where Raptor is 5 gold ahead.
True. That's just like a ward ping, no?
Yeah. It's exactly the same CS, and they're junglers, so you're going to end up with the same golds. A ward ping gets you a little bit of extra. And, you know, they traded Scuttle Crabs on top of it all. And they're just going to go back to farming at exactly the same time. So BNK definitely need a little bit of time to do something crazy, just in general. Whereas DNF, generally a pretty passive team themselves, so not going to see any crazy maneuvers from them early on. What is your favorite appetizer?
I'm not really that big into appetizers, honestly.
What about like bar food? It's like similar vein, but not.
I mean, I guess, but that's just a lot of, you know, like all of those are good. It's like fried stuff.
It's impossible to be bad.
Yeah, I can't remember ordering bar food and being like, man, this is not what I wanted. You know?
Yeah.
Like the bar obviously can be lower, and that's fine. Sometimes.
Wait, that's a great pun. The bar can be lower, like for the bar.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
kind of slipped that one.
Really, what that one made me wonder is how the hell did both Canyon and Owner get Vi twice? I
think it was just teams taking chances.
Well, it's also that, and let's be real, there's some pretty good players on those teams that probably draw bans. And then you look at that draft and then they banned like Chovy's Yone or something. They're like, okay, you know what? I get it. That makes sense.
Yeah. That has definitely happened. That definitely happened for one of the times that Owner got it.
But yeah, in Europe it's often just like soup.
Soup?
Like tomato soup.
T1 soup. How's he doing?
He's great, yeah. Still hiding in the shadows in challengers.
Makes sense.
Yeah. The people aren't ready, you know? We saw that, and I think soup is coming when he's really necessary.
Okay. I'm very hyped for him.
Just like T1 beans.
Coffee beans or like kidney beans?
No, just beans.
Oh, just beans?
Just
wow.
beans.
That's really mysterious.
I know. You don't. I've never asked which kind of beans.
You never know.
You never know.
Well, what kind of beans he's thinking about?
We're looking for a play in Bulldog here. He does a flash.
How about soybeans? That's not as exciting.
No, it's not.
We're making a play. FEARX is level 5. Raptor,
walks it off.
level 6.
There's a lot of people here.
Ooh, Ghoul's going in on the Dudu. Berserker also in the top lane. But it does look like Sobro's doing a good job of pushing Dudu out.
We have no TP and a Jhin that is just...
Wait.
How are they winning both sides of the map? What is happening?
Why is there no one bot? And they got blue buff.
Yeah, well, so I get this, because at this point they need to send Dudu to bot lane ASAP. But that is a fat wave that's going into the turret. That is a lot of gold just kind of being given over for seemingly no gain. As I say that, though, this top wave slowly getting pushed in by Berserker and Life, but especially with Cannon on the way, Diablo's going to be able to pick up basically everything on at least the next wave. Grubs are coming up in about 20 seconds, so they can set up a slow push and then turn it into pressure. But Pioshik is clearing towards the bot side of the map, so not quite sure. This is pushing in.
I think Diablo missed that minion.
He did miss that minion.
Yeah.
Elevation, baby. Or he just misclicked. I don't want to make excuses for Jins.
Well, I feel like Jins nowadays are more excusable.
There he is. I think he didn't even finish his Raptors. I think I saw the icon just disappear, so he probably only did like just big Raptor.
All right. Diablo getting engaged on by the Ash Arrow.
This is Jhin.
Not really much that Kellen can do about it to help him. Wave not supremely large, so they just clear it out. Might actually be the 3 grub angle. Raptor not even showing on the top side of the map. He's just doing the enemy red.
Yeah, Raptor is also sitting on a ton of gold, so I think he really doesn't want to fight. But early on, DNF getting the objectives.
Ult on in.
Double feats, or 2 out of 3 for the feats of strength when it comes to the objectives as well. Very nice. This is looking like a good meal, Valdez, for now.
Yeah.
It's just
It's like
the moment is coming.
A plate of buffalo wings.
It might be right now.
I feel like it's too early, right? Nice dodge by Raptor, though, and that's going to be 2 guys knocked up into the air. Yoshik in a lot of trouble, just going to throw an ult in just to try to survive, as he's going to die anyway. No reborn for him. As Berserker also has to flash the root. Daystar comes up, perfect timing, as the Owl is going to pick up the kill. And yeah, you were actually right about the timing. It was right then where DNF threw away their lead. Meanwhile,
yeah, that shrimp had been sitting out too long, Valdez. You were right. You knew.
Well, at least it's not going to be.
We were warned.
It's probably not going to be 3-game cocktail shrimp, so it's not going to be out for too long, if you know what I mean.
Can't believe you, as a cursed believer, says stuff like that. As we take a look here, Yoshik, he's just taking red buff. I get why he feels safe, because he's mid lane prio. And I know that the fact that I don't get this. Why is Bulldog backing as this play is happening? Because if he walks up, and like again, I think the play is lost before that, but it baffles me. There's prio mid. Either Bulldog walks up there as he gets prio to ensure that they can make that play there, and if not, then Yoshik and Life have no business being there. If he's like, I need to back, then he needs to back. That's fine, but we need to be on the same page.
We got a Renata Glass gank.
Yes.
I think just trying to help him with this wave, with this lane rather, but not really able to, because Raptor came down too. And that means that BNK by default will win that push. At least Berserker's going down there as well. But the Dragon's going to spawn. This time it's not Chemtech Soul. BNK should be able to pick this one up, especially with the TP to the top lane. And yeah, should be ready. Dudu is at least going to be able to get this wave.
There are a lot of good dragons, so let's see what we get. Chemtech will be fun. Or sorry, Hextech, not Chemtech. I'm just all mixed up when it comes to the techs today, Valdez.
You're not a big tech enjoyer.
No, well, Hextech actually is my favorite Drake. I just love the gauge.
Hey, you got it.
There we go.
Caster Blessing.
You'll love to see it.
It's a rare one from Chronicler. Thank you for that.
1 in 4 odds, Valdez. There's 3 other timelines.
Yeah, it's pretty rare, like 1 out of 4, you know? It's not very common.
Clearly you're not a gacha gamer. I've been told that you know, this is...
Yeah, you know, I was the one who got Atlas into gacha games. I feel responsible.
It was you?
Yeah, it was me. I was like, hey, there's this new cool game called Genshin Impact. And I didn't know what a gacha game was. I didn't know the construct of what a gacha game meant or what it does to people. And I'm like, hey, you should play this game with me, Max. He's like, hey, that looks fun.
Wow.
And then I quit.
He did.
And then he didn't. And, you know, many years later.
Next you're
I've
gonna...
tried some other one. Like, I played Honkai Star Rail.
Next you're going to be telling me, yeah, like, actually, I was also the one that recommended it to Barrel. I'm like, what have you been hiding?
No, I think that was just Barrel's own doing to Atlas. That was Atlas's choice. I am more of a Daystar enjoyer.
Always have been.
Yep.
Since last Sunday.
Ever since Sunday. It's been quite a while now, yeah. Almost 5 days in the making.
He's scaling in this one. You know, got
He is 20 CS behind, but he is Rise into Orianna.
Scaling. Yeah,
And he left the lane that one time. You
got
know,
to cope.
Helped with the kill.
He has an assist. I don't see an assist on
He
the other
does.
side. As here we see a good example of why the Jhin feels nice, because you're able to still farm. Ideally, you do want, when your support goes on the merry jaunt across the map, to do something. Unfortunately, Kellen was looking, but didn't actually find a mark to take down. The gold is basically even. And really, when it comes to evaluating this game, we just need to repeat what we said in game number 1. This isn't about compositions. This isn't about what should happen. It's about DNF beating their inner demons.
It's about what will happen.
We are like, you know, DNF, it really feels like when they beat Nongshim, I thought that was gonna be the turn.
Yeah, the breaking point.
That was gonna be, I thought we were, you know, it was like Rocky. Like the moment happens, and then from that point on, you're just on top of the world, you can do anything. but instead it is, as Deegan was saying earlier, oh
Well, he almost got the red buff, and now he's getting engaged on. Has there not a glass there, but this is a Vi going away from the team. He's going to get the res, though, as they're going pretty deep for this one. Pilchik lives! It was a genius bait all along, as now Daystar trying to get out, but he will go down. Bulldog just flashes on him. It's 3 kills for DNF, as maybe they have a chance in this one.
no! A 3 for 0! What? So Kellen just really the one that unfortunately makes that entire play collapse. He just dies with flash up. Took way more damage than he was expecting. And that gives the reset to Pioshik, which kind of beckons the rest of this whole sequence of events. And what a big win there for DNF. As that really kind of nails this series in a nutshell.
Yeah.
That moment right there.
So
this should
break it down, Chronicler.
Because they know, but I still think this shouldn't work. Because there is a Jhin ready to join the fight. Pioshik should die here. But Kellen just ends up going down, gets caught in the combination of that Renata ultimate plus Shockwave. And he just dies, and then your boy Daystar, I think he also could have just went towards the boss cone. And then he made he could get out.
Yeah.
But he didn't. Does have Roa now though, so that's nice.
Well, at least he's got that. Diablo did not have his ult in that last fight.
Yeah, it was big as well.
Yeah.
It actually woke up.
He was in the back, you know, shelling, doing what Jhin normally does. Could have been a different fight. But to be honest, guys, I mean, it's a good fight for DNF, but they need to show more. They need to actually build off of this and get more. Otherwise, we cannot trust. We're not able to believe just yet. Daystar walking up to Dudu. Dudu gives him a 1-4 there, as now going in onto Bulldog. Flashing in is Sobero just to get ulted by Vi and die. And now we're going to get a handshake here on a Raptor, who also is going to die, going very deep there for, I think it was Berserker, and it did not work out. And that's the Rift Herald on top of it. So DNF, almost 3K gold in the lead now.
And this too is BNK. This is why this team is in the position that they're in right now. They're 5-11 for a reason. When they're playing well, I think when they're fighting well, the team looks great. But they also have a tendency to battle when they shouldn't. And that battle tendency we saw right there when they should not have contested at all. And instead they contested everything. And they're not going to get the dragon, that part's fine. But the free kills that are being given over here, are just... You knew they're on Herald. Sobero is flashing into a Shockwave. But even if he doesn't, I don't see it. I didn't see the vision. And I think BNK in hindsight also kind of regretting that one. As Raptor on the Wukong, not quite. They did get it. Reaching the same heights as he did on the Zinza. Was never say never when it comes to a DNF game in particular, but right now things are looking wonderful for them.
This is, it's not an unlosable position by any means, but I will say that this is going to be one of the best spots they've been in quite a while. Like this is, they've been good at getting early game leads, but we also have Hextech Soul on the cards. They have control of the map. They can just play passively like they like to do. They don't have to take a lot of team fights. Try to zone them away, play the vision game, get all the turrets down, and take the Drakes and kind of like get to a point where you're too big to fail. You know what I mean? And for teams like this that have big confidence issues, this is exactly what you need. And, you know, Pisher can do risky stuff like this, and he gets away with it because there really isn't any recourse for BNK at this point in the game. So I really feel like DNF have a good shot in this game.
The 6 gamer is alive and well, Veldes. And I know I said it last game as well. I will not trust until the Nexus falls.
Yes.
I will not believe. I will not get emotionally invested. But right now, things are looking wonderful. We're building to a 4.5, almost 5K gold lead here with 18 minutes into the game. 2 dragons stacked up, triple grubs, full ring of outer turrets. Item finishes as a Horizon focus here for Bulldog. I do like the Ludens, but really going for as much burst as possible. Even Berserker, you have great engage with the Vi arrow. with the, with the Ash Arrow and Vi combination specifically.
Vi Arrow.
Why? Yeah, it does work that way.
Yeah.
And BNK is a short range comp into Renata. And I do think Renata is also one of those champions that just counters the entire idea of what BNK is as a team. So I'm glad that we did see it picked up.
Yeah.
I'm still hesitant, and that's I don't want to be Veldas. I want to believe.
You remember last week I was committed to believing that DNF were going to win against T1 in Game 2.
Okay, but that was T1.
That was T1, and I was committed. So if I'm not committed here, who am I really, you know?
Who are you really?
Yeah. What are my values
Brendan,
if I'm flip-flopping that badly?
Brendan Veldas.
I believe in DNF in this game.
They're going to do it?
I'm committed. I think they're going to do it.
Okay, we're getting our Sith gamer.
It's really, well, I was wrong the last time, but maybe this time it's
Otacon?
I really think they're strong
we do
enough
know
to
this is happening.
I don't know if he does.
Who's baiting who?
Well, we got TPs coming in, and they're doing a lot of damage here to Bulldog, but he is very fed. Daystar's just going to get engaged on, and down he goes. TP comes in from Sobero. He's going to be left alone. Kellen's already left as they try to pull off some kind of weird flank. Diablo was not part of it, and DNF will just get the Otacon.
I was thinking of this game as a metaphor, as an appetizer for the main course, which is T1 Hanwha. I'm now starting to think that DNF are the customer and BNK are the ones in the rest, because they just served Otacon for free with 2 kills to boot on a silver platter! What was that? They knew! They had vision!
It was just great service, Chronicler.
Well, clearly,
you can have this fantastic meal. It's on the house.
So, if
a side of teleport, why not?
Yeah, the attempt to take down Bulldog, I'm like, if that Wukong is a Pantheon, this play makes sense. Because then you can like collapse on the Bulldog, take him down, and then you can kind of fight your way out. You have Jin to... No.
Or if Diablo was like in the same hemisphere as the rest of the team.
He wasn't.
It's not even his fault. Like, the team has, it's a team game, right? Like, you got to be on the same page. You need everybody there.
I think I know what's happening here. The top side is going full challengers.
Okay. Well, we're going to try to kill Bulldog again. Does it work this time? I think it will. With this many people, I think they finally figured it out. Okay. You got Bulldog.
Can they get more? Okay, DNF.
Objective bound.
DNF, we've been over this.
All right, just engaging into the rise, and with the handshake coming in, Daystar, no flash. He will go down as Kellen goes in too, and they can't get him out either. Going really deep for this one. And yeah, a couple of kills do go over to DNF in the trade. I'm beginning to think it's not like a shrimp. I think it's like an old cheese, you know? Like, it gets better with time, but also it's not for the faint of heart. Like, you know what I mean?
It's a blue cheese.
Well, yeah, it's definitely got some mold in it.
Yeah, blue cheese.
It doesn't have to be blue cheese, but something like that. Yeah.
Well, a lot of things really, when you think about it, just, you know, the entirety of yogurt is just bacteria as well.
Yeah.
I think it's fine. As this was a great pick, then trying to go for the turret was a little optimistic from BNK.
Let's just hope they're not there.
The bounty, and then... So Daystar dying is one thing, but Callan, what? So he goes in and then tries to E back out, I'm pretty sure, but he just gets cued by Pioshik and just dies.
Yeah. So now, DNF, I mentioned they don't have to do a lot in this game. They can just farm Drakes. They're doing a lot in this game, getting away with it because, well, they're very far ahead, and BNK are also giving them opportunities, and they're also farming the Drakes. So again, I think DNF have got this. I think this game is in the bag.
Yeah, I'm with you. I'm with you, Valdez. I think we're getting our free gamer. And DNF on blue side. Draft, it was good. 2 times in a row. Zerka's looking very comfy. I think Life and Pioshik. One of my most often going back to talking points when it comes to this team specifically is just that it feels like they're on they're speaking 2 different languages, which makes sense because Pioshik is a North American import, but like,
yes,
let's be real now. Mark, at this point, we gotta get it together. They've been very in sync this
Please
time around.
become Pioshik again and not Mark.
Yeah. it's been too long.
Yeah. You know, there's a guy in Challengers named Pioshik.
Yeah, I saw.
I actually didn't know about that.
There are so many great challenger names. There's a bunch of really
But that would definitely be very confusing for all of our foreign viewers. Pyunshik and Pyoshik. It's only 2 letters off. As we're engaging again onto life. This is a Renata glass.
in a corridor.
I think they do know this, but it doesn't matter as it's BNK. They're going to go in. That's a shutdown there as Kellen goes down. And life, actually, it's going to be Berserker going down. As now DNF come in, that's a big shockwave, and I think with the wallets, they should be able to get this one going. As Diablo's actually here for a fight, that's a plus for BNK, but they did go extremely deep.
Right, cut the tape. Cut the tape. They won the play. We don't have to go to the replay. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. I don't want to do that to Berserker, man. You didn't. I don't know. Did you see?
Yeah, yeah.
You did. Okay.
I know.
Well, you were play-by-play. I thought maybe you were. I don't know if you didn't see, and then in that case,
No,
I wanted to protect you. Just look. You say, look.
Just look away.
So this is the desperation. BNK, they're chasing a Renata into a choke point. Shockingly doesn't work, as Kellen is just, or Leifert is just fine. So he's alive for a really long time. As I actually looked away myself, so I didn't have to see.
You really did.
It doesn't matter. Yeah, I did. It doesn't matter because the rest of the team is there. They're very ready to still make the play work, and he dies. But in the grand scheme of things, not the end of it. Really, losing the flash is definitely the worst part of that. That does give a little bit of an opening to BNK, but we're talking fringe cases here. Like, we need DNF to somehow go down like 0 for 4 in the Dragon fight, and then BNK just get Baron and then get 3 turrets, and then it's kind of equal. I could see that. I hope I won't.
Yeah, I do feel like DNF, even from ahead, are struggling to like stay together and not get caught out. So, I mean, it's possible. It's just a lot more difficult because everybody's got more items, they have more levels. It's harder to just pick someone off as quick as you have to, even though it is DNF. So I would imagine that DNF should be okay, even if they do make some mistakes here. Pyoshik is thinking about face checking into some jungle, where there are a lot of members. They're trying to kill Bulldog again! They're trying to get him again! As this time the Shockwave is going to miss. He's got his Zhonya's, and TPs are coming in. He even flashes away, trying to buy some time, but he's very dead. The question is what happens afterwards, as Kelly goes down, and Dudu's in the thick of it among so many members. And now we got a big Wukong ult, but the Renata over the top is huge as well. And Dudu has the bailout, but he goes down right afterwards. A very close fight, actually, as Berserker, though, is untouched. And eventually, it's not a close fight at all. Daystar gets the phase rush and gets away, but DNF's still going to win it big time.
Investment paying off big there for DNF. That looked a little spooky, but because of the amount of gold that they have, members stay alive for so much longer. Bulldog actually, even though he gets caught, does a great job of just stalling for time. The rest of the team gets to arrive. And with this, DNF, that's Baron, and almost certainly the Soul as well. So we take another look. Bulldog messes up the timing. Last time he did hit it. This time, Daystar's just on the edge. So a bit of a mistake there, but the timing there from Kellen as well. That actually, I think, ends up being really big. If he perfectly hits the timing on the W, and there's actually a full CC chain onto Bulldog, it's still tough, but they maybe win the fight. Instead, not going to happen. Nice stalling from Dudu there. Diablo tries to take him down. Not going to happen. There's a ton of value there for the Jacks with a counter-strike. Now, your boy Daystar runs for the hills.
At least he lived in this fight.
He did. Yeah, that is true.
Let's look on the bright side. Yeah, DNF
Is this
with Baron.
how I sounded when Lucid was just like losing games walking?
No, it wasn't this bad. I'm mostly memeing at this point. You were serious though, which I think does make it worse.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But it didn't sound as bad, is what I'm trying to say. We do have another play, Ghoulie Wall here for Bulldog, who doesn't have a way out. And again, okay, the Shockwave though is massive, and I think the wallets are just too heavy at this point. We got some bouncing rise damage, and they're not even going to get Berserker down before he gets bailed out. Eventually he does go down, but it's a Quadra for Berserker. Looking for one more, but you know that Diablo is never, ever going to give that Penta away. And, I mean, Berserker's already dead anyway, so it doesn't really matter. And DNF looks like they should be able to take this game down.
We're going to game 3. Valdes. The entertainment not done just yet. DNF. The Nexus is going down. We can finally believe, trust them to take the game. But now comes the hard part. They've won games before. Can they win this series? We're about to find out after a short break because, man, DNF in this game actually cashing in. As I know we're seeing Berserker number for me, Bulldog,